hope you're excited for some subpar Star Wars content. Get ready for us to build Lego for an outrageous amount of time, but first, a not so long time ago in a Texas city not that far away, Lego Star Wars sets arrived in the mail from the Lego group. Thank you, Lego. To build and show off to you all, May 4th is Star Wars Day. May 4th, May the 4th, may the Force be with you. Get it? It's a big deal for Star Wars fans. And an even bigger deal for Lego Star Wars fans, maybe. Because Lego releases a chonky new Star Wars set, and usually some less chonky, smaller play sets every year on May 4th, Star Wars Day. This year's chonky set is the UCS Ultimate Chonky Set Tie Interceptor. Chonky chonk. It's a big boy, has nearly 2,000 pieces. Today, I wanted to celebrate May the 4th. It only comes at most like once a year. We need to get all the hype in about Star Wars while we can. And to do that, I will be building everything in front of me. We got chonky here, R2, the invisible hand. These two Tantive IV sets, we have the Tantive IV and the UCS hallway. And the exclusive gift with purchase for May the 4th, little troop carrier. Ooh, it's a little chilly. So how this is gonna work is I'm gonna be building 6 Lego Star Wars sets throughout the course of this video. Since it's Star Wars, I feel like we can do something really fun with it. And I'm obviously planning to watch Star Wars movies as I build. There's no other way to do this. So I was trying to decide between release order and timeline order, and I decided to go with timeline order. Mainly because I love the prequels and I'm excited to watch them first. And it's my video, I make the rules, so I figured we would just go with that. And so therefore, the set that we are starting with is this one here. It's called the Trade Federation Troop Carrier. Look at all those little battle droid little guys. Fancy, fancy. I think this is the smallest of the sets, so we're starting with something a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. Anyways, let's get this one open. It looks really fun. Also, the 2 pieces are detachable, and it even comes with this little printed piece of R2. Let's start building. Oh, the little printed piece. Here is our first set. This is impressive for a gift with purchase. I'm actually very happy with this. For a long time, people, my husband, have been saying that they want to see more gift with purchases from Lego that have minifigures in them. Now, I'm still not really sure if battle droids count as minifigures. Maybe. But either way, I am really happy that this is like a full-on Lego set. It's a pretty substantial build. It's playable, slidey action. And then we also get a little exclusive R2-D2 printed piece. I'm pretty sure all of these sets come with one of these, so by the end of this, I'll have a nice little collection. Now, there is one kind of major thing about this set where I'm like, what? Because on the box, it's saying it's from episode 1, right? Like, you can clearly read that. But I was watching episode 1 while building this, and I was like, where is the ship? Where is it? I assumed it was kind of at the end of the movie during the battle because of the artwork on the box. But I watched it a few times, and I was like, wait, is that it? You see it for 6 frames in the movie, so it's definitely not a big part of the movie at all. There's other ships that look kind of similar, but like this particular one, I only saw for like half a second. There, I think that's it. Is that it? It was cool to see it though, and it really does look like this. I'm gonna give it 4.8 stars. I think it's a fantastic gift with purchase. You get tons of droids in here. You get the little blue guys too. The printed exclusive piece. I think it's a great set. Moving on now to the moment that at least I've been waiting for. I don't want to speak for you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I can tell you've been anticipating this too. It's time for R2. I didn't finish episode 1. I'm like 45 minutes in, and because R2 shows up in what? Everything? Every single Star Wars movie? I'm just gonna have him count for episode 2. But because it'll probably take me a while, we're gonna start with episode 1, finish it, and then move on to episode 2. Let's get started. Oh, I love him. I like that a lot. So now let's talk about our little friend R2 here, because I feel like there's actually a lot to say about him. First off, I love the size. I love that it's like a little smaller version. It is so cute. And I feel like even though it is a smaller size than the UCS R2-D2 from a few years ago, they still captured pretty much everything there is to him at this scale. Obviously, the bigger version has more detail, but it's also like $150 more than this one. So between the two, this is definitely the winner in my eyes. It's kind of neat because the whole front of him is kind of customizable. Like these little parts, you can pull that off and then just put a white tile over it. Same with the other side. So it's kind of neat having a little bit of customization with our R2. His head spins around, which is pretty fun. And then he has this other leg that is easily detachable. It's just like held in by a little Technic beam. And so overall for this little guy, I'd probably give it 4.5 stars. I really don't have any issues with this set, but you know, like that one teacher we all know, there's room for improvement. Looking at you, Mrs. Johnson. So yeah, I think he's a cutie. I like him. I'll put him with his big brother in there. Also, there's a little plaque that I think is neat. But now I'm feeling a little spontaneous, so let's paint a wall.
The great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you spin around, you laugh to yourself, and I see you shine in every color.
It's so purple, I love it. You're doing great. Okay, what do we think? This is my new wall. My favorite color is purple, so I decided to paint the wall purple. I also like flowers, so it's kind of like my flower wall. I love it. Plus, I just got this little wooden minifigure. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be, but I thought it would be perfect for my little Lego flower wall. Cute little guy. And you know, while we're here, I actually have a secret to tell you guys. Little backpack bingo here is not the main event for this space. I have something else that's gonna be going there soon, but it's a secret for now. It's not a secret Lego set that hasn't been revealed yet. It's something I built, but I just can't show you yet. A little hint for you is that it is on theme with the rest of this, except bingo. Bingo's not involved. Anyways, the next set on our list is the invisible hand. Before we start building this though, there is something I need to confess to you all. I did not know what the invisible hand was before this Lego set existed, but I am completely valid in that because all, or at least most of my knowledge of Star Wars comes from Lego Star Wars. I'm familiar with almost every type of ship from Star Wars at this point because Lego has made so many of them. I love it when I have a Lego set and I build it and it's of a ship or something in Star Wars, and then I'm watching Star Wars and it's in the movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that. I have that. I built it. For the longest time, my husband and I would watch Star Wars, and he knows everything about every ship, like where it was made, where all the planets are, all the names of the different species in Star Wars. But when the set was coming out, I asked my husband, like, what is this? What is this from? And he told me it was General Grievous's ship. And I asked him the same thing the next week again because I forgot, and he told me that it was General Grievous's ship. So now I am well informed. Just as a blanket statement for Star Wars, if Lego hasn't made it, I don't know it. Sue me. No, actually, please don't sue me. Let's get this built. These little tiny studs are Anakin and Obi-Wan's ships. There we go. You wanna come sit? Come here. For our little recap of the invisible hand, we are joined by none other than the famous Lady Bird. He's so good. So the invisible hand, again, I didn't know what this was at first, so I wasn't really too excited about it, but I like the colors. And I'm a big fan of the midi scale ships in general, like this kind of tiny, it's not really micro scale, it's midi scale. I think they're great. They have a lot of detail. The builds are still pretty complex and they make for really nice displays, which is clearly something that I am into. Something neat about the invisible hand here though is it's the only one with a play feature. The ship comes apart because in episode 3, Obi-Wan's like driving the ship and he's like, oh, at least we're driving half a ship or something like that. And so they actually like incorporated the ship breaking in half here. And I like that it's actually easy. Ah! I had Ross fix it for me. What was I saying about how nice it is that it's so stable? Oh my goodness. What I was saying was that I think that it's nice that the play feature kind of happens while it's still on the stand, rather than having to take it off the stand and then like break it. Even though the ship does come off pretty easily, or it did at one point. Now I don't know how to get it off the stand, so go figure that one. This set for me, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It's not a set that I had ever heard of, so there's like no emotional attachment to it. And then the name, the invisible hand, doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't get it. But I think it's a really nice design. It's just not something that I'm super familiar with. So take my opinion on this with a grain of salt or less. But I did have a good time building it. I thought it was really fun. And it looks nice for display, but I think I'll let Ross display this one. Good morning and welcome to tomorrow. I am currently in our guest room. My husband is sick with the flu, and the room where I normally build is right next to where he is trying to sleep right now. So we are in the Ladybird suite, I like to call it. You have a whole room to yourself. Yeah, you do. You'll notice the exquisite artwork on the wall. Oh, I'm a little sniffly. So anyways, as to not wake up Ross with my building and Star Wars watching, I'm in our guest room. I brought down 2 Lego sets. We have the Tantive IV. What do you think about that? I concur. The UCS Tantive IV hallway. Ladybird's a lot less interested in this one, I think. If I remember correctly, episode 4 starts with a shot of the outside of the Tantive IV, and then it shows like Darth Vader coming in and like causing a ruckus. So let's start with this one here. I'm just gonna try to build it here somehow. It's nice because there's a TV in here. I think it's like 20 years old. That's awesome. The scene from the other set's coming up too. I want to talk about this before I cover it up. They put in little characters here. We have C-3PO, Leia, and an R2. R2 has like a little tile on top, whereas the others are just studs. That's neat. Oh. Now let's chat about the Tantive IV, or as some people call it, the Tantive IV. That came out recently, that's the proper name for it. But you know what I say to that? No. I'm gonna call it the Tantive IV. That's what it is in my head. Anyways, this build is beautiful. I am so happy with how this turned out. And it's a perfect display. This is not a play set. I mean, I'm sure you could find ways to play with it. I won't. I'm gonna be displaying it. But I love that it comes on the stand, and then it's also super easy to take it off and then like maybe swoosh it around if you feel like it. This whole new concept of midi scale ships, or the Starships collection is what they call it. I love it. I am so happy with this scale. I don't need a giant Star Wars set. Like, this has so much detail in it. The build techniques are still really exciting. But anyway, something cool with the set, I feel like you can see it the best in the back. It's like the same techniques on top and bottom, and how they connected that was really interesting to me while I was building it. They were able to capture a lot of detail from the set at such a tiny little scale. And then in the instructions, they had little notes, and my favorite little notes that they included is these 4 little stud things on the bottom. Those are escape pods, but on this side, one of them is missing. That's what that little gray stud is. I love that detail. That's so cool. I would have never known that if they didn't say it in the instructions. So thank you for the notes, LEGO. That is very helpful. Now it's time to rank this though. I think, oh gosh, it's really good. I think I'm gonna go 4.5 stars. Really, the only thing that's like taking it down from 5 stars is the fact that I'm just like not in love with the Tantive IV in general. Like when I did my Disney video, the Disney Castle was like an easy 5 stars, but I'm just not obsessed with the Tantive IV. Anyways, it's nap time. I'm hungry.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
We got some food. I got my coffee. I feel a lot better. I was so tired. Again, Ross is sick, so he's been binging Avatar all this week. Ladybird's upset because I've been building a lot of Lego this week, and she's not getting as much attention as normal, but we never skip our afternoon walk. I have to make sure I sing her song.
Beautiful angel puppy, walking through the grass. Beautiful angel puppy, don't look at mine.
Let's get back to building Lego. The set that is next on the list is the hallway. What is this called? Boarding the Tantive IV. This is the Tantive IV hallway from the beginning of the movie we are currently watching. So it'll be kind of fun to build it out of Lego, but this just isn't the kind of set that I would normally go to the store and be like, yes, that's for me. But I do really enjoy building buildings out of Lego, so I feel like I will actually enjoy the build process for this. And the play features are pretty neat. Movie's back on where I started it, and let's build. Stickers. We just got to the end of episode 4. Time for episode 5. Bag 3. And we're finished. This set did not take that long at all. I think it was about 35 minutes. But check it out. Here's our little hallway. It has all these like fun little features, this door. And I also went through and placed all the minifigures. It's kind of hard to give a ranking for this because it's just not the kind of set that I normally go toward. But I do think that they did a good job with it. The play features are really fun. And these little things help you kind of like fling the minifigs. It's pretty awesome. So I think for what it is, it's a good set. It's a cute little build. You can display it, maybe. But for me, I see it more as a play set. I think I'll probably give it 3 stars. I like it. It's not for me, but it doesn't mean it's bad. And again, the play features are pretty cool. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. It's the next day now, and finally time to get Chonky here open. The UCS Tie Interceptor looks like a great model, but it's not really something I would rush to the store and buy. It's not really a well-known ship for me. Also, I can never get the different tie styles right. There's Tie Fighter, Interceptor, Tie Defender, the Tie Destroyer, I think, the Tie Advanced, Tie Striker, Tie Bomber, Tie Vanguard, Tie Shuttle, Tie Scout. Yes, I did Google this list. It's a great model, and I'll get into this more, but I really enjoy the midi scale, or the Starships collection is what they're called now. That's what the Tantive IV and the Invisible Hand were. Also, I had to ask Ross where the Tie Interceptor popped up in episode 6 because I can't remember where it shows up. And it turns out actually that every scene where there is one, it's being blown up. I still like the model design though, but building it was a semi-nightmare just because of all the angles. It was definitely a challenging build for me, but once it's built, it looks great. Something fun here too was because of the symmetry, a lot of the bags were identical, so me and Ross got to have fun building together. He's still sick, but I don't know if you can tell or not. He's feeling a lot better than he was before.
Want to see how far this thing can fly? There's something moving around in here. I'm just gonna ignore it. Ugh. Why? What sound does a TIE fighter make? Okay. a Max Rebo.
We were really excited to see the ship in the movie when it popped
You see
up.
it?
That
You see
was
them?
neat.
Yep, there they are.
All of those?
Yep.
Whoa.
Well, not all of them. Some of them were TIE fighters.
Oh.
Yep, there they are.
There they are.
Wow.
A fun fact for you all about the set versus the movies, though. If you look at the lines in the front window, there's a line up and down on the Lego set. But in the movie, it's offset, so it's a clear window at the top, not a line. It's a small difference, but interesting that they're not the same. All right, our UCS set is finished. Here is the TIE Interceptor, the 2024 UCS set. I think it looks good, okay? Like, as a display, I like it, but there's also a lot of things about it that I'm not really as big of a fan of, and so the rating on this is gonna be a little bit lower. So displayability, I think that's fantastic. We have a nice little display in the front. We have the minifigure. We have a mouse droid, our fancy little exclusive plaque again. But it's funny, like the mouse droid is kind of huge. I feel like if they were like really making a mouse droid to scale, it would be like a cheese slope or something. But compared to the minifigure, it's kind of huge. Just kind of a weird scale for it, but it looks good. We have the nice big plaque in the front. Love that. It is printed. Printed, don't stick it. In general, as a model, this looks good. There aren't any stickers on the outside of the build. All the stickers are in the cockpit. Speaking of cockpit, that's where most of my issues are with this set. This build was frustrating. It was really finicky. It's really fragile around the cockpit. Like, as I was putting that together, things kept breaking. For me, things kept breaking for Ross. So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me being like a subpar builder. It was the set, I swear. However, once it's built, it looks good. The display is great. I've seen some critiques saying that they don't like the studs on the outside of the build, which is fair. I like slick, smooth builds, but I also like that it looks like Lego. And a lot of builds now kind of don't look like Lego. I do think tiles would have looked really nice on this, but let me know what you guys think about that. Looking at the cockpit, the thing does open so you can see a minifigure inside if you do choose to put your minifigure in there. So now when it comes to giving this a ranking, there's a few things going on in my mind, right? Like the display looks really good. I think like as a model, it looks great. There's a lot of nice details on the outside. What is that called? Greebling? I don't know, but it looks really good. The display aspects to it are really nice. It does come with a display stand, thank goodness. I'm glad that that's become like kind of a standard with Lego now. That's really cool. But also it's not really like an iconic Star Wars ship to me. It's kind of fun having different types of ships and like less common ships at UCS scale. It's really neat seeing a model of that ship made out of Lego. Like, I really do enjoy that. But like I said earlier, I keep getting all the TIE ships mixed up, including this one here. So to me, it's just not really an iconic build. And for those reasons, I'm gonna go with 3.8 stars. I do want to hear in the comments all of your thoughts about this set. Are you planning on buying it? Let me know. And well, with that, we have finished building all of our sets. That was really fun. I really enjoyed the build for all of those. Minus the cockpit, but that's fine. And I really enjoyed that. It was also kind of fun like mixing up the building location because I've always only built like in this room. And sometimes I feel a little cooped up in here if I'm building for too long. So it was kind of nice like building in the guest room, even though it like definitely wasn't that comfy, like building on the bed. I do have something exciting coming up and I would love your input or feedback or suggestions, please, because for the next video, I am planning on redoing my entire Lego display. I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Like I need all the advice I can get. Please comment with any input that you have for me. Thank you for watching my subpar Lego Star Wars content and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Summer sea.